The following episode of the Kingdom of Isolation contains footage from the film being discussed. The footage is used solely for the purposes of education, commentary, and criticism under fair use. Please support the animators by watching this film on Disney Plus or home media where available. This episode also contains spoilers throughout.
Hello my fellow Disney fans and welcome to the Kingdom of Isolation, where in times of trouble, why not celebrate the magic of Disney? I'm Kenzie Retro, and in today's episode, we're going to be venturing back into the world of the direct-to-video sequels from Disney Toon Studios with a look at Lady and the Tramp 2 Scamp's Adventure, released direct-to-video in the spring of 2001. Which, here's the thing though, the UK got both of these films at roughly the same time, with Lady and the Tramp 2 coming out before The Little Mermaid 2. So you're probably thinking to yourself, why didn't you do the why didn't you do it in UK release order? I'm going by the initial release date, which was that away in North America, because Little Mermaid 2 came out towards the tail end of 2000, whereas it came out over here after Lady and the Tramp 2, interestingly, in the spring of 2001, about a month or so apart from each other. Anyway, so before we leap into Scamp's story, let's take a moment to appreciate the legacy of the original and why its charm continues to resonate on its 70th anniversary year. Lady and the Tramp was released in 1955 and was Disney's 15th animated feature film, and the studio's first to use CinemaScope, or to simplify it, widescreen. The film introduced audiences to Lady, a pampered cocker spaniel, and Tramp, a free-spirited mutt from the wrong side of the tracks. Their unlikely romance captured hearts with its sweeping visuals, memorable music, and the iconic spaghetti dinner scene, an image so beloved it has become a symbol of animated romance. At its core, Lady and the Tramp is a tale about love transcending boundaries, the meaning of home, and the joy found in simple pleasures. The film's artistry is evident in its richly detailed backgrounds and expressive character animation, while its soundtrack, featuring classics like Bella Notte, helped cement its status as a Disney masterpiece. Themes of class difference, belonging, and loyalty infuse the story, making it a timeless favorite for generations. And I actually got to see it just a few weeks ago, celebrating the film's 70th anniversary, and they just don't make them like they used to. They just don't make them like they used to. Now, released straight to video in 2001, Lady and the Tramp 2 picks up where the original left off. This time, our focus shifts to Scamp, the rowdy, restless son of Lady and Tramp, who's determined to break free from the comfortable home life and discover his own path among the alley dogs, who are part of the Junkyard Society. And I'll be sharing my thoughts on the animation, animation style, the new and returning characters, and whether this sequel lives up to the legacy of its beloved predecessor. We'll also explore the film's main themes, musical numbers, and how it fits into the broader Disney universe. By revisiting both films in some areas today, we'll see how Scamp's Adventure reflects and reimagines the spirit of the original, connecting old fans and newcomers alike. So grab a bowl of spaghetti and meatballs, settle in, and let's dive in to the adventures of Scamp and his friends in Lady and the Tramp 2, Scamp's Adventure. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments below, and let me know if you have seen this sequel, and has the original held a special place in your heart? And also, turn on notifications so you don't miss when an episode goes live on this channel. The next episode, we're heading back to Neverland, but we'll get into that at the end of the episode. Now, a few months after the release of Lady and the Tramp in 1955, the character of Scamp was expanded on in Disney Comics. These stories were published decades before the sequel was made. During the production, the crew visited Walt Disney Archives. The crew studied artwork and drawings used to make the original film, and this helped the artists and animators to recreate the look and feel of the original film for the sequel. Artists working on this film used Main Street USA at Disneyland as a reference for the town and time period. And also, during the production, there was another junkyard named Chuck who was cut from the final film. He can still be found in concept art for the movie. None of the strays from the first film are seen or mentioned in the sequel, presumably having been given owners that were able to release them from the pound. Chiffon, Scamp's neighbor and original love interest from Scamp's original comics, was most likely the inspiration for Angel. This is because they both have a similar appearance to each other, and only Chiffon was a house dog and Angel is a stray. Straight into the first musical number of the film, Welcome Home. Now, this time around, the songs are written by singer Melissa Manchester and lyricist Norman Gimbel. Now, Norman has had some Broadway experience under his belt with Whoop Up and The Conquering Hero, neither of which lasted long, with the latter lasting just 7 performances between January 16th and 21st, 1961. Ouch! The town in this film and the original Lady and the Tramp was inspired by Walt Disney's hometown of Marceline, Missouri, even if the lyrics say this is New England, which I can only assume is Massachusetts, I think? I don't know. Something I love here is the callback to when Disney used to have a chorus singing over the opening credits. Ah, good times. Good times. Okay, so it's okay for Disney to use the opening to the 20th Century Fox intro, apparently. And this won't be the last time we hear it. Disney, you're a bit early for purchasing 20th Century Fox, because that wouldn't happen until 2019. You're about 18 years early for that. We're gearing up for the 4th of July celebrations. So let's speed run through everyone that's here so far. And we'll save the rest of them for shortly. So we've got Jim Deere and Darling, voiced by Nick Jameson and Barbara Goodson. We've got Aunt Sarah, voiced by Tress MacNeille, as well as voicing Cy and Am, her cats, alongside the late Mary Kay Bergman, who sadly took her own life in 1999. On to Tony and Joe. Michael Goff was Joe. And Tony, say the line, Pete!
Guess who? Guess who? It's him again!
Disney legend Jim Cummings!
Look! And when we're done, you'll never know the place.
Classic young dog behavior, full of energy, very vibrant, and a real character. They head home where we hear the voices of the triplets for the first time. Debbie Derryberry and Kath Soucie voice Annette, Colette, and Danielle. Kath was, of course, last seen as Kanga in the Tigger movie, top right of your screens. Although, before that...
Feels like Christmas in July.
That's an interesting choice of lyrics for celebrating Independence Day. Although, given how patriotic America is, understandable. The film takes place in July 1911, according to the calendar at Tony's Diner, which is curious given as a paper that Jim reads involving the Titanic. Maybe it's the progress of the ship being built. But back to the music for a moment. Danny Trube is back composing the film score, and Jim Deere's appearance resembles Walt Disney in his younger years. One small thing to note, been a while since I've been able to do that. Now, the voices of Lady and Tramp. Tramp is voiced by Jeff Bennett, last seen as Bradley in An Extremely Goofy Movie. Right. Well, back-to-back episodes where I referenced that film. Huh. Lady, on the other hand...
With Darling and with Jim Deere.
Oh, hello, Jodie Benson. A role that isn't Ariel. I'm amazed I recognized her voice as a kid. Probably from how much time I spent watching The Little Mermaid. Scamp tries to escape through every window possible, only to end up having nowhere to go. Deja vu, anyone? Little Mermaid 2? Melody wants to go into the sea, but Ariel doesn't allow her to. Something tells me these were made basically at the same time.
You need to be clean. Well, then I'm glad I'm a wild dog.
Scamp, voiced by Scott Wolf, who would go on to win an award for his voice work on the film, albeit a minor award, has a play around with Tramp, only to be told to slow it down as it's time for him to have a bath. But first, plays out with Junior, voiced by Andrew McDonough. Scamp, unfortunately, ruins another hat. Now it's time for a bath. Here we go. Scamp's all muddy again. Makes the girls muddy, makes Junior muddy, makes a huge mess.
What a mess! This time you've gone too far.
The uh-oh from Junior is so adorable. Scamp is now chained up. Hopefully he'll learn a lesson. Heart to heart between Lady and Tramp now, with the latter being the protective father figure, while Lady is just trying to get Tramp to loosen up a little. The family photograph in Darling's living room is the same one Jim Deere took at the end of the first film at Christmas time. The scene where Lady and Tramp sit by the window near the stairs pays homage to a similar scene in the original film. Director Darryl Rooney said the window scene was one of the most impactful to him when he first saw the original film.
Pop, I just don't feel like I belong here. Didn't you ever feel this way?
How many times have we heard that? Something else formulaic? Family argument that will lead to Scamp breaking free from the chain and running away. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a weird feeling of deja vu here. Later in the day, Scamp spots the junkyard dogs being chased by a dog catcher. Scamp also spots Angel, voiced by Alyssa Milano. Now, Scott was best known for Party of Five, while Alyssa was best known for Charmed. Now, compared to the previous catcher, this one is just an absolute idiot, catering only to the kids who want to see funny man be stupid idiots. IQ level? The useless Canadian in Formula One. Case and point.
Hey, where'd you go?
Even the character design amplifies how stupid he is. The junkyard dogs are led by Buster, voiced by Chaz Palminteri, who also voiced Smokey in Stuart Little in 1999. The dog catcher character's design and voice were based on Don Knotts' Barney Fife character from The Andy Griffith Show. Buster is a Doberman Rottweiler mix. Angel is a Pomeranian Siberian Husky mix. Francois is a Boston Terrier. Mooch is an Old English Sheepdog. Sparky is an Irish Sheephound. Irish Wolfhound, I should say. Ruby is an Afghan Hound. Scratchy is a Mongrel. Before we get into the next song, here are the supervising animators for the film. Andrew Collins for Scamp and Angel, Leanne Hughes for Lady and Tramp, and Kevin Peaty for the Junkyard Dogs. I think we're definitely going to be hearing those names for quite a while. The next song is A World Without Fences, with a very familiar voice who know their Disney, for those who know their Disney history.
And be with real dogs, will bring the real dog out in me.
Yep, that's the singing voice for Hercules, Roger Bart, providing his vocals here. I wonder if he's still active right now. Great Scott! He's Doc Brown in the Back to the Future musical. How's about that? Scamp breaks free from the chain, runs away from home, and bumps into Angel. Told you that was gonna happen. I told you that was gonna happen. Now, I already love the chemistry between the two here. This is definitely going to be the start of something between them, which will lead to tension between them later, and then they'll get back together in the end. I'm not apologizing for this, but this is an issue with most of these direct-to-video films. The stories feel very predictable, and this is no different. Angel shows him an alley move, which he tries to replicate, with minimal success. He just makes it across the road and into the junkyard.
Meanwhile, thousands of miles away.
Scamp? Oh no. Tramp!
Lady discovers Scamp's run away. Back at the junkyard, Scamp gets acquainted with the junkyard dogs. The wagon atop the pile in the junkyard is the same one that crashed and injured Trusty at the end of Lady and the Tramp.
That's my girl.
I'm not your girl. I don't belong to anyone.
Yeah, that's going to be a running thing between these two in this film. Now, the cast for the junkyard dog. Bill Fagerbach, the voice of Patrick in SpongeBob, is Mooch. The late great Mickey Rooney is Sparky, last seen as adult Todd in The Fox and the Hound. Kathy Moriarty, no relation to the Moriarty in Sherlock Holmes, is Ruby, and Bronson Pinchot is Francois. Scamp gets ridiculed for wearing a collar, only to retort with this.
I've had it with the house dog life. Nothing there but rules, rules, rules. I want to be wild and free, like you guys.
Leading to the next song of the film, the Junkyard Society Rag, which is another strong addition to the soundtrack. Definitely leaning into the jazz elements. Buster gives Scamp some tests so that he can become a junkyard dog, after some inspiration from Angel.
In Reggie's alley.
You what?
Wait, where? What? This one did well. Back home, Scamp's family starts their search for him. Jeff also voices Trusty and Jock, who both come over after they get the news. And they're there just to look after the youngsters until the family get back. Scamp's sisters don't want him back, especially the last one.
I bet he gets a slipper right across his great big fat.
Yeah. Be very careful with your next choice of words. Jim and Darling take Lady and Tramp to go and find Scamp, who just needs to get the can out of the alley, which is held by Reggie, who is just as intimidating as he appears. Not surprising given he's inspired by Stephen King's Cujo. The first part, getting the can, easy enough. The second part, trying to get out. Yep, we're all dead. We're all dead. Reggie hunts Scamp down, who manages to escape, causing Mrs. Mahoney to lose her wig, which is her running gag, unfortunately. She's voiced by the daughter of the late great Paul Winchell, April. Reggie starts chasing Angel and Scamp, and Reggie gets hit by the truck and taken to the pound. Angel praises Scamp for saving her life, well, thanks her, I should say, at the expense of Buster telling him he has to do another test. And Buster can't quite open the gate.
Will somebody open this thing?
It gets opened, and off we go.
Ooh, I hit the thingy.
Now that's actually an ad-libbed moment from Scott, because he actually hit the microphone during the recording and said that line by accident. And the animators thought, let's incorporate this into this film. Now, Scamp claims he'll be the best junkyard dog there was, only for Ruby to make him aware of
The goat!
Said goat is Tramp, catching Scamp off guard. They then tell the story of Tramp evading so many dog catchers before going out in style, only for Buster to correct them by telling him what actually happened. He met Lady.
He betrayed me! You can't have a family and still be a junkyard dog.
That as well. Buster's rant definitely screams, "I'm the bad guy!" He then questions Scamp if he's related to Tramp, which Scamp immediately denies. Otherwise, dead meat. Not the YouTube channel. He will actually be dead meat in a lawyer. Buster is going to kill him. Scamp and Angel are on the railway tracks, learning more about each other. Scamp ranting about why having a family is a bad idea.
Let's just say you're lucky you've never had to live with a family.
Wrong again, Tenderfoot.
Yeah, this ain't her first rodeo on the streets. 5 families, each one with the same ending. Either moving, having a baby, or developing allergies, or already having allergies.
But you've got Buster.
Buster, you can't tell him. You can't. He'll kick me out.
Don't worry, your secret's safe with me. I promise.
Watch this backfire. I'm telling you, this is a predictable storyline. You know something else predictable? Characters on train tracks, walking along them, talking together. Guess what happens next?
Yeah, or play, or dig, or...
Run.
Right, or chase squirrels.
No, I mean run.
Now watch one of them get saved just in the nick of time.
Angel!
What did I say? What did I say? Fourth film. This has happened. Train chasing characters down. Oh boy. You've had the Aristocats, you had the Fox and the Hound, and Stand By Me, and now you can add this one to the mix. Even Family Guy made fun of this trope in one of their episodes paying homage to Stephen King. They fall into the water with Angel being safe. But hang on, where's Scamp? When Angel looks for Scamp after falling from the bridge, she climbs onto a log overlooking the river. The look of it intentionally resembles Pride Rock from The Lion King. This was mentioned in the DVD commentary. Trusty thinks he's found him, only for what they think is Scamp to actually be a wig, leaving Jock
Absolutely livid.
But thankfully, Scamp is okay. But Tramp is filled with remorse while they continue searching for him.
I shouldn't have been so hard on him.
Scamp and Angel go on the date, leading to the next song, I Didn't Know That I Could Feel This Way, where we not only get Roger's vocals again, but guess who the vocals are for Angel?
Is better than a dream.
Susan Egan, the voice for Meg in Hercules. So yeah, we've got Hercules and Meg singing together. Just roll with it. One of my favorite moments is the fireflies creating a necklace around for Angel, while Scamp's teeth glow from the fireflies in his mouth. It's a beautiful moment leading them to pass the love hearts in the concrete from the first film. And you can actually see the paw prints of where Lady and Tramp put their paw prints into the concrete. Anyway, it's on to Tony's for a dinner date, replicating that iconic spaghetti moment from the first film. And honestly, Roger and Susan's harmonies, they get me every time. Just harmonies in general get me every time. Even Tony and Joe love how cute the moment is. They make it back to Scamp's neighborhood, almost get spotted by Jim Deere before finding the family missing him, leading to Scamp being full of remorse, leaving Angel
Absolutely livid.
at him running away from such a loving family.
Only one more test and I'll finally be a junkyard dog. That's where I belong.
No, you don't belong there. You're better than that, Scamp.
Angel's right. It's Independence Day the next day, and we get the 20th century drum roll again. Seriously though, just wait until you buy 20th Century Fox before you actually start using their fanfare in your films, Disney. Anyway, Buster manages to put together that Tramp and Scamp are indeed related, as father and son, giving him the perfect idea for the final test. Stealing the chicken. Not gonna be easy. Hang on. Shouldn't it be a turkey? Or is that just for Thanksgiving? Scamp steals the chicken, leading to the junkyard dogs causing havoc so Scamp can get away. Well, everyone except for Angel and Mrs. Mahoney losing her wig again. Scamp thinks he's escaped, only for Tramp to catch up to him. Then in comes Buster. Tramp tries talking sense into Scamp, only for him to walk away, sticking with Buster, which would prove to be a big mistake later. Buster takes Scamp's collar off, officially making him a junkyard dog. Only Angel is left not celebrating with everyone, especially after the event of the previous evening.
'Cause you know how I feel about house dogs.
Hey, cut it out! She's the one who wants to be a house dog, not me!
Oops! Scamp goes to find Angel, only to be heading to the pound after Buster refuses to help him. The final song is beautiful and heartbreaking at the same time. Always There. And this is where you get the vocals for Roger, Susan, Jody, and Jeff. Angel spots Scamp heading to the pound, so heads to get Tramp to save the day. There is one more voice to bring in when Scamp is in the pound. In the same cell as Reggie. He's dead. The voice of that dog, Otis. Mr. Nations of the World, Rob Paulson. Do you think Rob will be considered a Disney legend at some point? Maybe he already is. It is an intense finale set piece with the fireworks going in the background and the intense music. Tramp manages to knock Reggie out and Scamp is thankfully okay. They confront Buster one more time, getting Scamp's collar back, leading to Buster being trapped under the garbage pile. The junkyard dogs leave him as well and get new homes in the end, while Scamp returns to his home with Angel welcomed into the family while Scamp has a bath. Now, over the end credits, we get a rendition of Bella Notte, performed this time by Joy Enriquez and Carlos Ponce. Another fun trip down memory lane. But will the scores reflect my nostalgia for this film? Let's find out. The story, I'm going to give a 5. The story feels really predictable to the point where it feels like a copy-paste of Little Mermaid 2. Because of the predictability of the film, it feels mid at best, lacking a lot of originality. The characters, I'm also going to give a 5. The characters have the same issue. It's caricatures we've seen endless times before. Scamp, rebellious kid who wants to be free. Angel, complicated love interest who wants what the protagonist ran away from. Buster, one-note antagonist. Dog catcher, IQ levels of everyone's useless Canadian. Lack of focus on Lady and Tramp, and everyone is just there to fill the roles and caricature types. The visuals, I'm going to give an 8. The animation is definitely up there, better than what we've seen from previous Disney Studios films. So visually, this is one of the better direct-to-video sequels overall. The computer especially with the fireflies and fireworks. The computer animation, though, on things like the hot air balloon at the start hasn't really aged as well, though. Now, the soundtrack, I'm going to give it 11. Hard to fault the soundtrack here. The songs stand out in their own way, and the film score has its moments to shine as well. Scamp's solo song and his duet with Angel are among my favorites of the entire soundtrack. And now, the legacy. So I'm just going to summarize this by saying 45% on Rotten Tomatoes, 1 award win from 8 nominations, which 4 of them are Annie nominations, losing out to Eartha Kitt in The Emperor's New Groove in the voice acting category, where you had both Jodie Benson and Alyssa Milano nominated as well. Tara Strong was also nominated for Little Mermaid 2. It lost to Batman Beyond in the home video production category, which also had Joseph King of Dreams in there as well. I will get to the DreamWorks films in 2026. I already have the intros put together. And also losing out to Shrek in the directing category. It has its moments and does continue the story well in some areas. But there's a reason the first film will always be a classic, especially in the year of its 70th anniversary. The score overall is 70%. The animation and soundtrack are what stop the score going any lower. The story and characters feel predictable, and the legacy makes it for me one of the better sequels despite the reception and my criticism towards it. It's above Little Mermaid 2 on the scoreboard, but below DuckTales. Can I recommend this? Yeah, absolutely. It's a fun continuation of the original film, even if I've been critical about it in some areas. And you'll have seen also, just a small side note, you'll have seen as well, I've gone back to the old school Disney intro. Because why not? So let me know. Do you want me to use the current intro, or do you want me to go back to the old intro? Let me know in the comments. That is it for this episode of the Kingdom of Isolation. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the thumbs up. And if you want to be part of the Kingdom of Isolation yourself, again, you can hit the subscribe button down at the bottom, click the bell, turn on notifications so you don't miss when an episode goes live on this channel. The next episode is going to be our return to Neverland, which just so happens to be the name of the next film.
Peter Pan, starring in Return to Neverland.
But until then, make each moment count, and I'll see you guys next time in the Kingdom of Isolation.